Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Friday morning, final day of the week of the new month. Let's go ahead, take a look. Hopefully you're having a great Friday. If you're here for the first time, welcome. My name is Tyler. I'm going to be helping navigating you through the wild world of day trading futures. It's going to be a good time, so stick around, hit the like button, subscribe. We're going to be talking about fair value gaps, change in state of deliveries, order blocks, basically any question that you have. So put them in the comments if you have any questions. I believe I actually didn't answer Johnny's question from yesterday about the 3 p.m. model, which we'll try to cover today. If Johnny's on stream, we'll make sure we try to touch on that. With that, let's go ahead and open in prayer, and then we will go ahead and get started. Father, we honor you this morning. We thank you, Father, for the closing of a week. I pray for your wisdom, your discernment to guard our hearts, to watch over us, Father, that we would not be manipulated by the whips of the market, but Father, we would be able to think clearly what the market is doing. Lord, I thank you that you're good and you're good towards us. Father, I pray a blessing over everyone here, that they would see increase. Lord, that they would be blessed at everything they set their hands to. And we say all this in the mighty name of Jesus. And everyone said, amen. I'm going to open my shade. Get a little extra light in here. Northern, good morning. Jose, Hervé, Tony, Jason, good morning. Marcelo, Jason, good morning. Dirty F30. A Dirty F30. Good morning. John, what's up? Wendy, good morning. Live to Laugh, great name, good morning. Kevin, how you doing? Okay, so before we get started, if you use the code DTJ, you can get anywhere from 30 to 80% off your next evaluation account. I primarily use those, so if you have questions on them, drop a comment in the chat. I'm happy to answer them for you on how to get started, how to use them appropriately, best way to pass them, blah, 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 all that good stuff. Let's go ahead and take a look at the market. Let's see what we got going on, and we will rock and roll. Boom. Let's drop that screen a little bit, and let's jump out to the higher time frame. Today is July 11th. We're in the middle of the month, and when we look at our previous week candle, we have swept the previous week high. Okay, we have already, today's the last day of this black candle right here, and we've swept the high. So I'm assuming for the week, my by the way, just for the record, my bias for yesterday was wrong. My overall higher bias was wrong. However, it did give a bullish move that I got stopped out twice on, and then it moved in my favor. It did. I was right to some degree at least. But we have already swept that previous week high. And then we have a weekly fair value gap sitting down here. Now, do we run and reach that today? That seems pretty aggressive for a Friday. So I would be surprised if that happens, but I'm not gonna discard that idea. Dropping down to the daily. From the daily perspective, this is the candle I wanted to see push higher right here. And we didn't. ES made a higher high, but NQ did not. So that gives us permission to look lower because one of the correlating assets did reach and run that high, but we didn't. Or NQ did not. So from a daily perspective, this is consolidation. This is consolidation, and we've already ran through Wednesday's low and the weekly midpoint right here. So are we going to play inside of this range here? Or do we potentially run for these levels here and potentially tap this untapped breaker on a lower time frame, which we'll take a look at. So from a 4-hour perspective, this is that 4-hour candle. It's I think this is anchored to the hourly, to be honest. Here's our consolidation that we've been in right here. A lot of back and forth. A lot of sweep of liquidities and running the other direction temporarily. So I'm going to play on that idea further as we look at price. When we run some of these levels, I'm going to look at it potentially bouncing. We have a 4-hour fair value gap. We've tapped once. And that breaker, let's drop down to the hourly here. There's the hourly level that I'm referring to. Low, high, lower, low. Tapped that daily fair value gap down there, which is overlapping, which is the candle that created the weekly, I think. Created the weekly fair value gap, maybe not. But we haven't made, or we haven't reached this yet. So we have this nice hourly fair value gap we've reached once, came short. We did tag that high. So we did tag that once already. Okay. We do have an hourly fair value gap that's sitting down here. Equal lows were right here that we just swept. And an SMT right here. This hourly fair value gap is currently holding down price. And we have London high here. And more of this hourly fair value gap that has not been rebalanced if it wants to move higher. But we first would have to get through this level. Looking at the 30-minute. Fortunately, I'm not seeing much here, folks. It doesn't look good. 15-minute, we have a 15-minute fair value gap holding up price right here. And everything's been mitigated to some degree. This is the last 15-minute fair value gap that was mitigated right there. We've marked our London high. Let's go ahead and mark midnight open. Midnight open was tagged. Right here at 3 a.m. We reached for the midnight open and ran away from it. So I'm not as gung-ho about it trying to reach for midnight open, but we do have London high, and then we have this. These are relatively smooth areas, so that's of interest there. And we already ran those two levels here. We'll go ahead and mark our previous the opening range gap. It's a large one. I mean, I don't really have a strong bias right now. I really don't. I will take the 930. We'll take that. I think that looks good. We have some low resistance liquidity here that potentially we are rebalancing from the 15-minute fair value gap. Have ran these lows here. So I like the idea of a long right off the bat. Well, if it's gonna run all the way up there, maybe I might not take it. I'm gonna put that in actually right now, see if it wants to continue. All right, so that played out for us. Sometimes I question myself on wanting to make that much larger because make my target much larger because those moves, look how nice that is. I mean, it was a great play. I'm not complaining. Maybe I am. Oh man, when you get the analysis right and then it's so right, it goes so much further than you're expecting. Welp, it is what it is. We call that a win. All right, so now that we see how 930 open, let's go ahead and mark that level. We'll mark 930. And then we're gonna keep track to see if this wants to continue to expand. We did run into the midpoint of the opening range gap, so we want to look for that to be filled within the first 30 minutes of price action. Well, it was filled in the first minute. Relatively equal highs here, smooth. Yeah, it's not perfectly smooth, I get that. But we have London high, midnight open. We'll see if it wants to hold here. There's the tap into the 930 fair value gap. We'll see if it holds here. I am not going to be taking this. Yes, Ricardo, it was. I'm seeing if we get another fair value gap right here at 932. This will be our first presented fair value gap. We don't count 930 for the most part, but it's still respecting that. We'll see if it respects it. If it respects this 930 and then closes above this, I like that idea for a continuation to London high. This is assuming we're getting low resistance liquidity runs. I'm not sure if we're going to get that or not, but you have to plan for it because you don't know how 930 is going to be. So if we can plan for it, and then if it's not going to play out, then we just sit on our hands. Retested that first presented fair value gap. No close. Northern, you bet, my friend. Implemented, thanks for the Academy's teaching. Haven't been on the stream much lately, but learned and implemented your teachings, and like today, good to witness your pre-open analysis is just as I did an hour ago. Thank you, my friend. If you wouldn't mind, for those that are on stream that are in the Discord, under testimonials, if you wouldn't mind dropping a testimonial in there, just whether it's a couple lines or a lot, I would greatly appreciate it. That's probably the one thing that, because it's a newer Discord, I don't have a ton of testimonies. So any testimonies I can get, whether large or small, they're helpful. So I'd appreciate it. Still holding that first fair value gap, the 930 fair value gap. This is our first presented fair value gap for the day. This is just another fair value gap that I'm watching. I do like the idea of it going long right here. Well, thank you, Matthew. I'm glad the prayers are impactful. ES is melting. It's melting. It's going lower. It cannot hold itself. Looks like it swept liquidity and retraced there on that 1 minute. It wouldn't surprise me if it pushes. We're gonna wait though. This is a 30-minute candle, nice large wick. Might be time to get on that ride here, folks. Might be dropping. Let's see where it closes. If it closes beneath here, it's probably gonna run that low already. I'm probably gonna take this. Oh, never mind. It already ran the low. Nope, not gonna take it yet. Wait for a retracement. Wait for some clarity on what it wants to do. Nice large candle though. Yes, Johnny, that's all I've taken. I did mention that I will go over, I think you asked about the 3 p.m. reversal and I never talked about it. Northern, yeah, it's Matthew just marked it out. ICT higher time frame is the indicator. I've been spending, guys, I probably spent 4 hours trying to code. 4 to 6 hours trying to code indicators and strategies. So I'm working on some stuff. When I got some news, I'll share it. But right now, a lot of errors. A lot of errors. I want to be careful. Today's Friday. It could be a seek and destroy type day of just back and forth price action and no continuation. I don't know if we've hit our target or not. We hit our previous week high. We've hit the previous week midpoint. I don't know if it wants to reach all the way down here. I think that's an aggressive move for a Friday. It's 280 points. So yeah, that closed above here. The 5-minute just closed inside this range, so we don't have a change in stated delivery there. We did sweep that low. Tony, Grok is 1,000 times better. And yes, I am using Grok extensively, especially the new version that just came out, Grok 4, and still have issues, but we're working on it. What's up, all set? We don't have any news today either, so we're really not waiting on news. We're just watching price. I don't know if I can go short right now, because if you look at the 5-minute, the 5-minute was aggressive, moving lower, but then it at the last second closed up above these 3 up close candles. That is an order block. So we don't have an order block. We don't have confirmation that we're going lower on the 5-minute. There's no confirmation. We have no confirmation on the 15-minute either. You can assume from the 1-minute, yes, we have these series of up close candles. We've closed below them. Boom, right there. But it wouldn't surprise me if price wants to come back up into some of these levels. There's an inversion right here, inversion fair value gap, overlapping with this order block. Wouldn't surprise me if we come up into here and also this fair value gap there. My question then would be, do we hold and roll over, or do we break through it? Is Bitcoin at 117,000? Dang. I will say I did buy Bitcoin a couple weeks ago. It means I'm in the green. What about gold? About the same as it's been. Just this back and forth consolidation above 3,000. Vintage Trader, are you in the Discord? I do have homework inside there for people. I'm gonna be putting out week 2's homework here soon. It might look good. This might look good right now. I got this feeling. Got this feeling of just this whipsawing back and forth. I don't know if I'm right or wrong. I'm just telling you what I'm feeling right now. All right, so 5 minute did confirm. It did close just now. So we do have a change in state of delivery. We also have a break. That's also our breaker on the 5 minute. Ted's already short. He's going for it. $15-minute candle closed bearish. It reached up into this fair value gap. We've been respecting the hourly fair value gap here. I think price is telling us lower. But it's not very clean. There's a lot here that could be rebalanced, to be honest. I think I'm gonna treat this as manipulation for a short. This would be the breaker short right now, right at the previous day low. If we stay under previous day low, I would agree with that analysis. But if we break above, I'm looking at support and then a continuation. But we've basically just been consolidating right around the previous day low. And the problem is I don't have a clear draw on liquidity either. Where does it want to go? London high to me is the clearest, and up in this area because this is imbalanced. Yeah, we could go lower to this, but that seems really far away. So just still not 100% clear on where it wants to go. This looks pretty aggressive. I will take this long if it closes above this. I'm going to take that long there. it jumped a little bit. $970 is going to be my target. I want to see it close above that first presented fair value gap. Maria, thank you. Nikki, are we still short? It's crazy how quickly the market can shift. And I felt weird. I'm not saying that my idea is going to play out. I'm hopeful. But when we got this big jump right here for this inversion, to me, that was like, okay, if there's an opportunity, we swept these lows. We tagged the monthly opening price. We had a consolidation, a manipulation leg here, another manipulation there for a potential move to, I'm hoping, London high. We'll see if we can get there. We need some energy. We need a pump. If we hit this trade, this will be my only trade today. I have no idea. I trade all the time, vintage trader. This could retrace down into this fair value gap. That's a real possibility. I'm really not looking forward to that. But I think I need to allow it to do that. I do recognize I do have a large stop loss. But at the same time, if I close my position and wait for it to drop, it could run without me. So you kind of have to hold it or de-risk. You could de-risk and take a smaller position. So we could take some off, but I'm not going to. Maria twice? Thank you. All right, there it is. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. 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 Don't lose it. Don't lose it. Love you, sweetie. Got 4 minutes till 11 o'clock or 10 o'clock. So I like that we're in the macro. I like the time that we're in. Just have to sit here and be patient. I like this music. John, no, because it's a one-time cost, there's no subscription. There's no trial. There it is. Come on. Let's go. Hit it. I'm deciding if I want to hold a runner.
Order submitted. Order canceled.
I'll decide after we hit it. I'm putting.
Order submitted.
I'm gonna move my stop to break even. There's no reason for it to go back. If it comes back, that means it's seeking and destroying, and I don't want that. I could close it right here and be happy, to be honest with you, but I'm gonna be patient. You know that uncomfortable feeling that you have when you're so close to it and you just want to close it and resolve that feeling? Yeah, that's what I got right now. Yeah, hit that like button. Hit that like button for me. Come on. Just do it. Just do it. Almost. Oh, I tagged it on. I'm gonna close it. Tagged it on NQ. So I closed that position there on MNQ because it tagged it on NQ and came up short.
Order canceled.
And I'm gonna close both positions, whole thing. It wasn't as satisfying as I really wanted it to be because it didn't hit on MNQ. But you can't, when you tag it like that, I'm not gonna hold it. But I love how the feeling just kind of fades away of that anxiousness feeling. All right. That right there, folks, is probably going to be it for today. We'll watch the charts here. We'll do some reading. We'll do some tape reading. We'll answer some questions. But there's a good possibility that I'm going to be done. So I'm going to probably log out of that account there. That trade came up of about $300. So between, what was that? There's take profit traders accounts for that one trade plus the 930 model. We took 5 micros. But I'm gonna log out on all my accounts there. That's a great way to end a Friday for trading purposes. $3 p.m. model. Yeah, we'll do that. Let's do our daily affirmation here. Let me get that. I need to get that sent over here. Give me un momento. I don't know why I can't load. I might need to do it a different way. That's strange. All right, so we tapped London high again after some consolidation there. You need more accounts, Ken. Vintage Trader. I'm really considering a prop firm, but I'm scared it's a wrong move. But tired of losing all of my own money. I know you've talked about it before, but if you want to maybe go into that a bit. Let me ask you, Vintage Trader. Your name is, nobody knows who Vintage Trader is. How much from your personal account would you say you've lost trading your personal account? I can tell you for me, it was over $20,000, $25,000, $30,000. So if that makes you feel any better about the number you put on there, I lost a lot of money. Over 2 years, $6,000. Okay. How much would you say you've lost in the last, let's say 3 weeks? Okay. What is it for the last 3 weeks? Because I think your fear is justified as it being the wrong move simply because most people treat prop firm accounts as gambling accounts. It's their golden ticket to YOLO for forever profits, and then they forever lose. It's the truth. So I think it's rightfully to have that perspective that it being the wrong move because you're afraid that you might not be able to emotionally handle that. Okay? That's the legitimate concern. But when you look at the alternative of, let's just say it was $300 this past week. Let's say I don't know, Vintage Trader, if you lost $300 this week. Maybe it was $300 over the last 2-3 weeks. I don't care. One account is $30. So that $30, let's say it lasted you 3 weeks before you blew it. Okay? Well, you just saved yourself $270. To learn. Because either you have the discipline to only trade demo. So you could go only demo. And that's the way to go until you have a strategy. Okay? Most people have a very hard time doing that because they feel every time they have a winning day, they missed out on money because their goal was money. I was the same way. And I never went to demo. It was personal account and prop firm account. That's why my tuition was a lot. So I think because you have that healthy perspective of the risk that evaluations of eval accounts have, I think that's the right mentality you need to go into them. You can even put additional guardrails, okay? Make it to where you're only allowed to buy one per month, okay? And you know it's only one per month. That's going to reduce your expenses by $30. But you're only spending $30 a month compared to a few $100, $500 over the course of 3 weeks. So it's a numbers game. And the at the beginning of your trading journey, your goal is to survive. So whatever you have to do to survive, meaning not go broke, that's what you need to do. Because this is a long plan. It's not something that's going to happen in a couple weeks. So unless you have hundreds of thousands of dollars to spare to be able to just blow, you need to find a way to conserve your capital in a way that allows you to learn. Like John says, it's a marathon. It's a long journey. So that's going to be my thought there, Vintage Trader, is yes, there is negative connotations on them. And it doesn't surprise me, you being a woman, have that perspective, because most men are like, sweet, let's do it. How many can I get? 20? All in, baby. Oh, the difference between men and women, it's hilarious. I love it. So I think you have a healthy perspective, and I think it is the right move for you, especially if you've lost the amount of money you've lost. I think it's the wise move to go. You just have to treat it like a real account, and you can't get sucked into the mentality of, well, I can just open a new one. So let's say you have a 2,500 drawdown limit on Apex for their 50K account. And let's say you've lost $2,000. Most men would say, let's see if we can just YOLO this and see if we can get it back to break even in one trade. Let's do 5 contracts, 6 contracts, and let's just see if we can get it back out of there. Because in their mind they're thinking, well, if I lose this account, it's only $30 and I'll just get another one. That is the mentality you have to avoid at all costs. Have I fallen into that? Yes. Yes, I have. But I realize that, and you have to understand what you're doing. So maybe letting an account go and getting a new one, is it a big deal? No, it's really not. But on a subconscious level, are you instilling a wrong narrative and a wrong discipline in your trading? I think so. And I think you have to be aware of that. So those are the negatives of prop firm accounts. But they by far lower the entry level to trading and the learning experience if you can use them properly. So I support them 100%. Wow, Ken, I don't like options. Something that has helped me to think about is being a steward of God's resources. I still find myself praying that God bless me. God blesses my trading every day. Honestly, being a good steward, I had a huge conviction. In the period where I was losing thousands of dollars, the Lord literally said, this is my words, dude, you're literally blowing your money. You're not stewarding what I've given you. And like this holy fear just gripped me. Did I change overnight? No. But that was really the beginning point on me saying something gots to change here. Something has to change. I can't keep doing this. It's not working out. And me doing the same thing ain't gonna change it. I don't know why I can't get this up, guys. Here, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna snap a screenshot. It's saying the way I saved it was wrong. Not registering. So let me. All right, here we go. Oh, is it not only going to be that big? Can I zoom in? All right, it's going to be blurry. I'm sorry. For whatever reason, I had to take a screenshot of it. Here is, we'll bring it over here. All right, daily affirmation for 7/11. I choose clarity over confusion. I invite God's wisdom into every decision. I am not moved by noise, but grounded in truth. Today I watch with calm conviction, knowing He guides me step by step. There are so many things for you guys to consider. So many things you have to decide. Do I need to do this? Do I need to do that? Should I do this? Should I do that? A lot of it is noise. And really, you have to be grounded in just a few things when it comes to your trading. Okay? One, everything you need to do needs to be with integrity. Two, you really need to have a daily max loss. Period. If you hit your daily max loss, you have to stop. It cannot be a non-negotiable. It has to be a non-negotiable. That one thing will change your trading. Has anybody implemented that since that video? I'm serious. It's not easy, but that will save your butt so many times. Because part of a mature trader is recognizing when they're not seeing the market clearly, or they're realizing that the market isn't the best condition to be trading in. One of those two things. That's a mature trader. Most of us aren't at that point yet. So what we need that external restriction to keep us until we grow into that maturity level of realizing that, hey, you know, the conditions just aren't looking right, or man, that's like my second trade and it's like I'm completely off. Being able to recognize that and stepping away is a sign of a mature trader. So if that's not you, you need a max stop loss. And even if that is you still need a max stop loss. You can raise it probably though. And honestly, you can't put it into the platform. I've tried putting restrictions on it. On TradingView with your accounts, for whatever reason, it doesn't allow you to. Wouldn't that be funny if all these prop firms said to TradingView, prevent the ability to put restrictions on their accounts, on their demo accounts? Wouldn't that be something? It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me at all. Johnny, I got you. Okay, let's do the 3 p.m. moment now. All right. Let me find a 3 p.m. here. We need to find something that's good. Because we haven't had it in a few weeks, a few days, I don't think. Yeah, we haven't had it in a little bit. Here we go. All right, so let's find our day. Nope, we don't have it here. No, I think it is here. But I think I did it on regular trading hours. So we're going to use regular trading hours. You can do it on regular trading hours. You can also do it on electronic hours. All right. So rule for the 3 p.m. model means price has to run to low or high of day. So we have the high of day currently was right here, and our low of day was right there. Okay. So this was our low of day at that point. At 157, that was our low of day. Okay. So we know that if price runs below this level, we have an opportunity to take that trade. Okay. So what do you need to look for? You need to look for two things. Spooling of price. You have to see spooling of price. Aggression towards the low of day. You see how this is intentional? It's not like this. This is what I prefer. You can still see this work, but this is what I prefer. Okay? Once price makes low of day, we are looking for a inversion fair value gap. Simple. We look left, make sure there's nothing there. We see, oh, we hit the low of day. What time is it? 2:42. Okay. Anywhere between 2:30 and 315. That's really what we're looking for. Now you might be saying, well, Tyler, what happens if it gives me an inversion and then goes lower? Well, then that means it failed and you take a loss. Because the rule is, when you make the low of day, you want to take the first inversion after it. There's the inversion. That's the inversion to go long. So your entry would be at the close of that candle. There it is. Stop is at the low. And then you look left. What is a logical place to take profit? First place would be here if you wanted to take profit there, because it's a swing high. It's also a breaker. High, low, higher, high. We broke lower. Do we want to continue lower? Maybe, maybe not. The next logical place, in my mind, would be this fair value gap right here. Let me do this. Because it's the last fair value gap before an order block on the lower time frame, and a little bit another order block right here overlapping with it. So that would be your next area of potential taking profit. That's 30 handles. And then the last would be running for these relatively equal high area right here. I probably wouldn't run past that personally, because I could, based on the time that it takes for price to move and how close it is to the end of day, I would have been concerned that we would have just came back down and consolidated. So this probably would have been my last target, and that last target would have been at 52 handles right there. So it's as simple as that. Johnny, in regards to the difference between regular and electronic trading hours is after 4:15 and before 9:30. So right now I have that turned off. So that's why you see these gaps. Gap. You see gaps in price action. Gap. Gap. All those are gaps. Those are the new day and new week opening gaps, which we talk about a lot and is in my course as well. Yes, you can do that. Low of day, regular trading hours, boom, takes off. It's beautiful. Does that give you some clarity, Johnny? You bet. All right, so look at this. There's London high, and if we have regular trading hours on like we've been doing, Johnny, here's that gap for the opening range gap. That's what I anchor this to. And look where price is at right now. Look what it did there. Now, do you understand why I have all these little lines and boxes all over my charts? Because they actually mean something. Could I have had the guts to hold that entire time? 78 handles. What did I get? We got 40. We got 40 handles on that trade. I'm happy with 40. Way to go, Ted. You do that on a performance account? Tell me you did. Tell me that was big money. Way to go. I'm telling you, that is holding through those uncomfortable feelings like we had to deal with right here. We did. I mean, I can tell you I got out because of that candle right there. Do you see that level? Yes, it came back and hit it again. But right there. I can't tell you how many times that it will hit on ES or on NQ, but it might not quite hit on MNQ, and I'll hold it, and then it gives me a big retracement. Does it eventually come back? Most times. But, I mean, I don't want to have to hold through. What was that hold? That was only 24 handles. But I've seen price drop before. So we held it, sat through that phase of being very uncomfortable as it just hovered underneath our take profit. There's two ways you could address that. You could have taken a partial profit here and moved your stop to break even. We moved our stop to break even. You could also moved it into profit to guarantee you got something. But it's also more difficult to hold a trade when you've had multiple losers in a row. So let's just say you took a loss here, loss there, and you finally hit the big one. Well, what happens is in the back of their mind, people are thinking, man, I just lost all this money. I want to get it back. So your mindset is not on holding for the bigger moves. Your mindset is on I want to get back to break even. So anytime you're in the green, you don't want to lose the money you made because you already lost the money you used to have and now you want to try to get it back. So you end up closing your trade prematurely simply because you had losses before. So the best way to work on your bigger winning trades is, one, get better at taking those trades and take less of the crap trades. Learn to take less of the crap trades, take more of the better trades, and let the trade play out to either your take profit or break even. If you do that, you learn to exercise the muscle that Ted just exercised today. He sat and he let that trade run 80 handles to that high. That's awesome. That's great. Here's the thing. You don't need to be Ted. You don't need to be me. You need to be you. So wherever you're at on your journey, maybe it's making yourself hold for just 25 handles. Maybe then it's pushing it to 30 handles. Maybe it's taking 4 of the micros off and leaving a runner for 25 handles, 30 handles, 40 handles to your original target. Don't try to be somebody else. Be you and recognize where you're at. If you're at, well, I tend to sell within 30 seconds. Anytime I see green, I'm selling. Okay, that's fine. That's where you're at. Let's go for 10 handles. Go for 10 handles. Put your stop, put your target, and sit on your hands and bite your lip. I don't care what you have to do to let that trade hit either your take profit or your stop loss. The understanding is I want it to hit either one without you touching it. Okay, it has to hit one or the other without you touching it. Most people are really going to struggle with this. But you have to be able to do that to get to the next level. It's a progression. Most people want to be $1 million trader, but they're not willing to do what $1 million traders do. So if you're not willing to do what a $1 million trader does, don't expect to see any progress. That's just the truth. I know I'm speaking to somebody on here. Look at that. People leaving right now. They're like, yeah, I don't want to hear it. It's the truth. That's true, Ken. You have to understand where you're at in your trading. And better hear it as early as possible. 100%, Maria. Yes, and hear it and receive it. Don't hear it and ignore it and be like, yeah, that sounds good. What strategy are you doing again? How many contracts are you taking? Oh, man. Well, folks, I think I'm going to call it a day here. We're going to call it a day. And I will be back here next week. Use the code DTJ for any discounts. If you're considering joining the Purpose Driven Trader Academy, you can find that link down in the description. Would love to have you guys help build that community together. Would love to have you. Find me on X if you have any questions, or here. God bless. Stay safe. And we'll see you all again next week. God bless.